Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. Today, we are going to be talking about the 4:30 movie. This is the most recent film from Kevin Smith, and who anyone who's watched our channel for any period of time knows, both massive fans. He was a very huge personal inspiration to me, and the reason why I got into filmmaking in the first place. So naturally, he has a new film. I go watch said film. I'm a simple guy. This is fresh. We actually just got out of seeing this. And I'm happy to say that I really, really enjoyed the film. It is
hmm
not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It definitely has some problems. However, um, it was a lot more heartwarming than I had anticipated it being. And that's not to say that Kevin Smith doesn't have heartwarming films. He has loads of them. But normally it's kind of moments in the film where I think, unlike most of his previous work, it was chasing Amy-esque in that the beating heart of this movie is the point of the movie. And I thought that was a really interesting thing to go back to. I'll kind of just go first on this one. I thought that I'm going to look up his name because I want to make sure I get it right. And the actress's name too. The chemistry between the lead couple is so good. I loved every second that they were on screen together, every time they had scenes together, especially
hmm
the opening scene of the film, I thought was great. I'm going to pronounce this incredibly wrong, but it's Austin Zajur and Siena Agudong. I definitely said that wrong, and I apologize. But both of them did absolutely phenomenal work in the movie. Um, I thought that the story was interestingly set up. I'm a sucker for kind of movies that take place over the course of the day. I like that concept because,
And in a movie theater.
yes, it had all my boxes. I also love movies about movies and liking movies, so clearly, I was probably going to enjoy this movie. And it felt very nostalgic in a way. I mean, of course, I didn't grow up in the '80s, like where this movie
hmm
takes place, but I have had moments where I was really nervous to go on a date. I finally got someone to go on a date with me at the movie theater, which is my favorite thing to do. So it was just like I was having the best day of all time. But then something goes wrong and things go wrong, and you're like, shit, I want to have this perfect day. Please don't ruin this for me.
hmm
And I think this film particularly is a good reminder that like when you're kind of in that age, like high school, days just felt like you had so much more time than when you're older, which is why I like movies that are take place over the course of a day because it gives you that sense of like, man, remember when days felt like you had so much time?
hmm
And uh, the comedy of the movie mostly worked for me. There are a couple bits that I think went on a little bit too long, and I think there are some bits that were half funny, but they didn't really land. But then on the flip side of that, there are jokes in this movie where I was belly laughing out loud, and that really got me, especially one involving a drop kick that you're not ready for when you watch the movie. I laughed so hard at that. But yeah, but again, the beating heart of this movie are the two romantic leads. So well done. You really buy their story. And as someone who is, an independent filmmaker who, scraps for money to make projects, any movie that's about the passion of movies and wanting to be a filmmaker and that whole thing, like obviously it resonates with me. And yeah, I had a really good time. I enjoyed the film. I just think there are a few things in the edit that could have been changed to make it a little bit more tighter and clean it up a little bit. But overall, I had a good time. What were your thoughts, Nicholas?
I feel like my thoughts could be surmised by the Office gif of Ricky Gervais, where he just like, "You've charmed me."
Oh yeah.
Because really, at the end of the day, like, I don't think the movie's not doing anything that you haven't seen before. Kevin Smith's a good director. He wasn't doing anything crazy that he hasn't done. There was not really a lot of in it. It was just more of a story rooted from a deep passion to tell this story from Kevin Smith's perspective. And I think that the most important thing you can do with a film is inject that into it.
Mm,
And I said that a lot in a review for we did earlier this year for Monkey Man, where I think that
yes.
Monkey Man has a decent amount of flaws, but the passion that Dev Patel had for that movie is palpable throughout the movie itself,
Yeah, it bleeds
and
through
that
the screen. It
and
bleeds
it
right
just
through.
gives so much, and that's sort of what I felt with this movie. Despite its flaws, it still is a very good and entertaining movie. I think that like I agree with you that the main couple are really strong in it, but the chemistry between the three friends
Mm,
I thought was fantastic, especially the lead and sort of the cool guy with the truck, Burmy, I think his name was.
hmm
Their dynamic and their chemistry I thought was equally as good. And it's a Kevin Smith movie, so of course you're getting loads of cameos from all of the hits from all of his previous movies. Some longer roles, some just a quick little howdy do appearance, but it's nice to see that they are still wanting to come back and make these with him.
hmm
Um, and I do agree with you. I think some of the bits ran on a little too long. But that's sort of also how I felt with some of the dialogue scenes. Like just scenes with like the opening date sequence, like you had mentioned. I thought I was like, all right, this is a little too long. It feels like we're not saying anything at this point. It's just sort of talking. And it has a lot of pop culture humor, which I do like. There's a lot of really deep movie jokes that I thought were really funny. But and this is sort of a general issue that I do have with Kevin Smith scripts typically is the humor related to like foreshadowing things
Yeah,
where they're
I
like
know what
they're
you
like
mean.
oh they probably saw Star Wars and then the person goes around it's like Star Wars this is gonna be like Star no one's ever gonna do more than one Star Wars. What are they gonna go back and show us the origin of Darth Vader and then what we're gonna get mini series? Who wants to watch a Boba Fett series? And I'm
Yeah,
just like all right, this is you're just pulling from like Twitter
yeah,
X, sorry, like so.
hmm
But I think the other deep like humor is when someone was like, "Oh, yeah, my mom doesn't want to go see Poltergeist too," and he goes, "Oh, is it because Tony Scott didn't direct it? Not
Toby
Tony
Hooper.
Scott, Toby Hooper didn't direct it." Like that, that's a funnier
Yeah,
joke to me than
hmm
like, "Hey, there's a lot of Star Wars, isn't there?" And it's like, there is. You have given me information I knew. Thank you.
yeah,
But
and oh, go
overall,
ahead.
I thought that it was much better. That I didn't have any really expect. I saw the trailer once a few months ago, so I didn't really have any expectations going into it. But it's always good to go see a Kevin Smith movie. I know I'm always gonna have a good time and enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I will say, Bear McCreary did the score for it, and it's a great score. It really,
Fantastic score.
it
Yeah,
really puts you into the 1980s feel, and the movie looks very 1980s. They did a great job, kind of doing a time capsule in that way. Ken Jeong plays the movie theater manager, and he's fucking fantastic. He's one of the standouts of the movie.
I think my favorite character though is the main kid's mom, Rachel Dratch. I thought
Yes.
she gave the funniest performance of the whole movie. She's in like one scene and it's so funny.
Yeah, yeah, it was that was really good.
You get all the hits. Justin Long shows up. Jason Lee shows
Yes.
up. Rosario Dawson shows up. The guy who plays Randall shows up. He ran through his staple, which was good to see.
Yeah, yeah. And it's joked about in the movie, but if you do see it, please stay after the credits because they show some bloopers, but they also show what looks like a deleted scene that I wish was not deleted because the joke in it is so fucking funny. It was so good. But yeah, yeah, no. If you're a movie fan, if you love movies, especially if you love Kevin Smith and Kevin Smith movies, I think this is a perfect movie for you to see. It's it's right there in his echelon that you've movies you can enjoy. The only other flaw I have, and he's actually spoken about this publicly, is he was trying to make this movie with a PG-13 rating in mind, and it didn't get there. It was given an R rating, and and it's for reasons I think are kind of dumb. Apparently, it was just because of like all of there's a lot of references to like masturbation and stuff. And to me, like I wonder if he thought he was going to get an R, like were there jokes that were held back, like because like that could have been better.
Mm,
Not to say that making a joke R-rated makes it better automatically. It's not that, but it does open the mind to like other types of jokes you could make.
yeah.
And so I wonder if the movie was kind of hindered in that way. But with that being said, regardless of the rating, RPG 13, the movie that we got, I really enjoyed, and
Hmm.
I will probably be watching it again.
Yeah. No, very good.
Final thoughts for me. I just want to say there is a joke in the movie about I won't say to what capacity, but involving Sam Richardson that was incredibly funny and it came out of nowhere and I love that joke so much. That's all I wanted to say is I thought that joke was great.
final thoughts. I'll go see the next Kevin Smith movie.
Oh yeah. By
Make
the way, you know what it
make
is,
Moose
right?
Jaws.
He does need to make Moose Jaws, but you know what he starts shooting this fall, right?
Mm-mm.
Like actually, I think in like a couple months. The third Jay and Silent Bob movie. And ready, guess what it's called?
Mm.
Jay and Silent Bob Store Wars. And it's about a weed dispensary that opens up down the road from theirs, and they just battle each other to like who's gonna win.
Oh, jeez.
It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait. It's gonna be
Whatever
so much
happened to
fun.
like Mallrats 2 or whatever?
Dude, I don't know. I know he was gonna do it as a series, but Universal, something with the rights got weird. I don't know. I do know that I think he got the rights back to Dogma. So I think they're gonna do a re-release and a 4K of it, which I would be very
And
pleased to get.
Dogma 2.
So that'd be amazing. Oh my God.
I would
Uh
Store Wars. All right. I wonder who the other leads are going to be that run the other store.
yeah, we know it's
Like, I
gonna be
wonder if he's
someone
going to
fun.
bring some new people in the fold, or if he's going to go back and it's going to be like, you know, the guy who plays Randall and
Dante.
Dante, but like different characters, same
Oh,
actors.
that'd be so funny.
I'd be curious to see what that plays out. Oh, how fun. Well, I'll know. Kevin Smith tells you everything about his movies before they come out, so
Yes, this is
I'll
true.
find out soon enough.
Yes, yes. But yes, that'll do it for the 4:30 movie review, guys. When you see it, what did you think about it? We'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.